Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. 1996, the year of the groovebox. While Roland MC-303, the first piece of gear to be officially released under this moniker, caught the attention of kids of all ages and Terence Dixon, "We're not worthy!" German innovators Quasimidi announced what can be considered a more specialized take on the subject, the Rave-o-Lution 309. It is quite obvious that this drum machine with a monosynth section was aimed at the techno crowd. Quasimidi had shifted their focus to dance-oriented instruments a few years earlier and could build on the unique feature set and sound library they had developed for the Quasar, Raven and Technox. Regardless of how revolutionary some of these features might still be today, the whole groovebox concept in its modern form was still in its infancy stage, and it goes without saying that mid-90s dance floor samples and presets aged like a fine wine. Let's take a closer look.
At the first glance, the Quasimidi Rave-o-Lution 309 is ticking all the boxes. I mean seriously. Plenty of knobs for parameter tweaking, a TR-style sequencer, and a clearly laid out front panel with a headphone jack. In case of sudden inset amnesia, you can look up what basic waveforms look like. The mostly sample-based drum section is split up into 4 instruments. In its original state, the 309 offers 26 kick, 25 snare, 7 hi-hat, and 128 percussion instrument sounds. The latter can be organized in up to 10 drum kits with 12 sounds each. The synth section boasts another 28 sounds, which are allegedly based on waveform models. The underlying engine comes with a resonant filter, a filter ADSR that can be routed to the VCA2, and an LFO. You will have to menu dive for deep editing though. There are synth parameters for the drum tones as well. What is more, every voice has a knob that lets you flip through pre-programmed patches. I'd like to see that on other machines too. Every voice is triggered by a so-called motif. These 5 motifs with a maximum length of 8 bars are combined to a pattern, and 8 patterns form a song that can hold further automation data. Additional motifs for fills and giggles can be thrown into the mix by using the special loop tracks. There's a real-time and step mode for pattern creation, and this is the point where we are made aware of the huge advancements sequencer technology has made over the last 25 years. Entering and leaving step mode or switching instruments while editing will completely mess up the timing of the sequencer, you can't change pattern length of an existing pattern, and step editing of synth parts feels a bit like filing a tax report. My main issue with the 309, and I'm almost ashamed of saying this, for the love of Moog, I wasn't able to figure out a reliable method of saving my creations. Adding insult to injury, the 309 is one of the machines that will relentlessly discard all your unsaved changes as soon as you switch patterns. However, the built-in FX units are solid 90s stuff. There's a master EQ, Overblast gets your tracks ready for car hi-fi, and the manual sucks even if you are a German native speaker. The unit can and should be upgraded. This one has the drum and synth extension, which come with more waveforms and too many additional features to be listed here. Among them, multi-timbrality of the synthesizer that only works when you get the audio input-output expansion as well. 309s are, you guessed it, rare and pricey. Thanks to Vienna's hard tech legend and Roland MC-707 expert, the Herbman, for lending me this groovebox.
The Quasimidi Rave-0-Lution was an ambitious attempt to revolutionize the way we produce electronic music. Is it possible that a small 90s company was able to outclass the old-school music tech giants?
You have already heard the 309 in today's intro tune. That's raw and digital even by the standards of this show. Here's a little jam from the I have no idea what I'm doing phase.
Good news is, the 309 is a great drum machine. I think you already know the bad news. Although the synth section seems to be quite similar to the one on my beloved Sirius, I had a hard time finding waveforms and filter settings I liked. The percussion library and tweakability of the drums are nice though. Let's tone down the overblast, tighten everything with a compressor and add more synths for the next round. Overblast might be good for drums, but the synth section sounds more balanced without it. Still, the synth would not be my first choice for most applications. The audio extension has become increasingly hard to find, and having to squeeze all these sounds through a single stereo output is a real limitation. Time to hook it up to the DAW for this life begins at 130 BPM hot and sweaty Changatuki meme funk. Verdict. I have nothing but respect for Quasimidi, a 90s techno synth David keeping up with the Roland, Yamaha and Korg Goliaths by releasing innovative and very German electronic musical instruments for a thriving music scene. However, in spite of the next level features, great drum sounds and convincing overall concept, I can't shake the feeling that a little more manpower would have led to a more refined product. After all, we all know that Roland was able to nail every single detail of the MC-303. Thanks for watching and See you next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show. Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel and welcome to the monthly Vocoder Shoutouts. We're going to start with Tier 4 and it's time to get serious. Tiers 5 and 6. We haven't heard the Roland VT3 voice transformer for a while. This is a Neumann KMS-104 and we are processing the processor with two of the most bad gear-worthy guitar effects. A Zoom 505 on the left and an OG pod on the right channel. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of that on the show. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.